Beyonce and the twins are home and living in a mansion already.
Louis Tomlinson sadly talks about how he's not as cool as Harry.
So sad, and Camila just debuted 3 new songs.
All that and more on today's rundown. Oh my gosh, you guys, it is Ariana's birthday! Happy birthday, queen!
I know. I hope she's celebrating after what 2017's been like for her. I hope she's having the best birthday ever, but let's talk about somebody else who's having the best birthday ever. Beyonce's twins. Beyonce and Jay-Z's twins are out of the hospital and home, but it's not just any home. TMZ is reporting it is an out-of-control Malibu estate. So they were born at the UCLA Medical Center, and they had to stay in the hospital for well over a week because they were supposedly born prematurely, and TMZ has reported that they had a birth issue and that they needed to be placed under lights, which everyone is now speculating that jaundice could be the issue at hand. But the babies and mom are officially out of the hospital and doing so well. A source confirmed to E! News that the babies looked healthy and that Beyonce also, quote, looked amazing and was glowing, and that she was in a very mellow mood and was calm. Well, I'd be calm too if I just got out of the hospital to check into a $400,000 a month Malibu estate on 6 acres of land.
So they didn't move forever, it's just temporary while they're...
It's just temporary, they're just there for the summer. They are looking for their forever home in Los Angeles, but they could purchase this home if they wanted to, because I think it's right now listed for over $54 million.
Oh my gosh,
just
they would join
modest.
Miley Cyrus and Liam Hemsworth.
Are they in Malibu as well?
Yeah, and Caitlyn Jenner.
Yeah.
I do love Malibu, and it feels a little more private than LA, and they obviously have a lot of land there, which is nice when you're famous.
And you have a lot of money, which is also nice when you're famous.
Right. New couple are Erin, Katy Perry, and Chris Martin are supposedly the new hot item. So Coldplay's frontman Chris Martin and Katy Perry certainly seemed to get along like a house on fire as they partied together at a music festival in the UK over the weekend following Katy Perry's set. According to The Sun, an onlooker spied the two musicians holding hands as they watched Stormzy together on Saturday night. Katy and Chris raved about the UK artist on Instagram during his performance. They were standing to the side of the stage, and following the performance, the two reportedly put on a cozy display of PDA in the VIP area. A source said Chris and Katy were walking hand in hand through the hospitality area and looked like they were really enjoying each other's company. She was wearing a big coat and a hood to hide her face, but kept whispering in his ear and laughing. As soon as fans recognized her though, she apparently dropped Chris's hands as they both raced into the VIP area again, where they were sticking together for the whole evening. So Erin, the two have run in the same circles for quite a while. Back in 2014, Chris Martin said that one of his songs was actually inspired by Katy Perry because he was listening to one of her songs, and then out of that came A Sky Full of Stars, which is very popular. We all love that song. More people spotted them, and apparently they were just openly making out around this festival.
Me, that's what I used to do when I was single. I just started making out. I've been making out with people since preschool, so I totally relate.
I mean, it does well for both of them.
I know.
If they're kissing and the world's talking about it. Katy has new music to promote. He always has music to promote with his band. They're all winning in this situation, making exes jealous.
Doesn't he look kind of like Diplo to you a little bit?
I think
that he's totally her type. He's a singer-songwriter. He kind of has that like edgy rocker look. I'm just curious where he might fall in the marry F kill game. When she talked about sleeping with like John Mayer, Orlando Bloom, and Diplo, like where would Chris Martin fall?
Well, right now, probably at the top of the list, but I just hope at the end of the day, all these pop stars are happy, you know?
I don't know that many of them are. It's kind of sad. Something else that's very sad today is that Louis Tomlinson is not really feeling himself in his career. I just said that like such a journalist. He's not feeling himself.
Next on the nightly news.
He's not feeling himself. Actually, it's really sad. He was talking in an interview with The Guardian, and he was asked about the success of his former One Direction bandmates, and he had to basically admit that his attempt at a solo career may not happen very easily for him. He called himself forgettable to a certain degree. He compared the rest of the boys and mentioned that Niall is, quote, fearless, Zayn has a fantastic voice, Harry comes across very cool, and Liam's all about getting the crowd going. And then he said, and then there's me. He's also releasing a new song called Back to You very soon, but he said that getting songwriters, top-tier songwriters, to write with him was nearly impossible because he worked with all these great songwriters when he was with One Direction, but now that he's a solo artist,
it's harder to get them.
No one wants to work with them.
Yeah, I bet you have to pay a lot of money, and the good ones are already probably locked in with everybody else that's making music. I bet it's a vicious world out there.
And also, when they write a song for you, they also know it's an investment to get royalties down the road, so maybe they all feel like his music's not going to do very well, which is even extra sad. On that note, he said, "I couldn't say to you that I could definitely get a superstar writer in a session with me, and I understand that. Harry won't struggle with any of that." He also said that he wishes he had gotten an earlier start on his solo album, but that the death of his mom back in December of 2016 really held him back, saying, "Sometimes my reservation or my confidence might have prevented me from doing something, and I've needed a mom in the past to kick me up the arse and go, you're doing it." I don't know, this is like so sad to me. I almost didn't even want to do this story today because I felt so bad for him, but I think if that's the mindset that you have going into this business, you've already failed. I think the music industry is so competitive and you have to be so excited to do it every single day that if he already thinks he's not good enough, that I just don't know that he will be successful.
Well, it has to be hard coming off of the success of one of the most popular boy bands in the world. And I'm surprised that he is so candidly talking about his status in the music industry, but I do think, like you're saying, if he decides that he's just gonna rev up and go, 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 go and make something happen,
I think he could.
He could turn it around.
For sure.
Speaking of new music, Camila Cabello debuted 3 new songs that will be featured on her upcoming album while performing just last night. So this all went down at B96's Pepsi Summer Bash in Chicago. Besides performing Bad Things, I Have Questions, and Crying in the Club, the Fifth Harmony ex-member Camila Cabello debuted the following 3 new songs live: Havana, OMG, and I'll Never Be the Same. Like I said, all 3 songs will appear on Miss Cabello's forthcoming debut solo album, The Hurting, The Healing, The Loving, which will come out in stores later in 2017 via Epic Records. So take a listen to the first one, Havana. And of course, we've got to listen to I'll Never Be the Same. And finally, OMG. So just little short clips of all 3, but you can tell by that all of them are fire, and I do think her new album is going to be very good.
Going to be huge. You know, I think Lord's album right now is my favorite album of 2017.
Really?
It's so good, but I think Camila's new album might take that #1 spot for me this year after hearing all this music. And I also feel like it's interesting that we have heard so many songs already that's going to be on the album. Typically, you don't get to hear all the songs before the album drops. So I think it's interesting that she's going that route with her music, but I'm so excited.
Well, I wonder if she'll keep doing this at different live shows, play like one more song on the album, one more song on the album, so we'll all be familiar with most songs by the time the album comes out.
It's so smart.
I think it's very good promotion. She also tweeted following the show saying, "Did some new songs at tonight's B96 show, which was your fave?" So, Camila Cabello, doing good. Doing good.
All right, guys, what do you think about Camila's new songs? What do you think this album is going to do as far as the Billboard Top 100 chart goes? Do you think she's going to kill it this year in 2017? Or are you thinking, like me, Lorde is a top contender?
Interesting. Also, I do want to know if you think Katy Perry and Chris Martin are actually an item, or if this is just show to promote their albums.
Yeah, I can't believe I haven't shipped them sooner than this. Anyway, let us know also how your weekend went in the comments. It's another week on DHR, and tomorrow's another day on DHR. Click left to watch Justin Bieber fall again.
Or click to the right to see the girls of Fifth Harmony battling a name change.